Hey, fellow Ristopians, welcome back to Ristopia. So, Grand Seiko. I think Grand Seiko are an interesting brand to own, and I wanted to say a couple of things about that on the channel. Somebody asked me a couple of days ago, where do Grand Seiko fit into the watch world? My opinion is that you've got Omega, Rolex, Grand Seiko, not in that order in any way, but I think they're all very similar from a point of view of, they are watches that you would potentially consider purchasing if you were only purchasing in that arena. You're not purchasing a G-Shock or a Tissot or, other things, sort of high, maybe even higher brands. But I think they kind of sit in a space away from all the other brands. I cannot think of a brand, in my own personal opinion. Maybe some people might think that Breitling are there. I personally don't. Yeah, I can't think. Maybe what have you got? Cartier. You've got Cartier. I don't think they fit in there. Although they have some very nice watches. The Santos, I think, is lovely. Cartier Santos. But I think that's my opinion anyway. You might have a different one. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, Grand Seiko ownership is quite unique. And that's kind of something I wanted to talk about today. So there we have my Grand Seiko box that I had on the channel the other day. And here we have my Tissot, bear with me. Here we have my Tissot Gentleman in green, Paramatic 80, so the automatic variant in green. I wanted the blue, but the green was available at a good price. I'm all about the discount, so unfortunately, Father forgive me. Yeah, I got the green. Really glad I did, because I don't have a green watch. I've said all this before. And I love the piece. Now this has all the new colours have this sort of crosshair sectional design, which I don't mind. It's fine. I really like the green. But then I got the blue, as you've seen. And I just to before I start talking about the Grand Seiko element here, I think a couple of things I didn't say in the last video that I did on this was not having the crosshairs just lets that dial shine. It just makes, I prefer the blue dial anyway. Let's take it off. I prefer the blue dial anyway, as I always kind of would have done. I'm so glad I got the green. As I said, I think the white, it's a shame that it's a white. They're both white date windows, but I think white goes better with blue and silver than it does with green and silver. It's my personal opinion. I think it lets the dial shine. Another thing I didn't say was I like the 2 lines of text above and below the pinion. Unfortunately, the quartz version doesn't have any text below the pinion, and that's one of my things that I'm not that keen on. I think it looks like a face without a mouth is how I see it. It just looks like there's something missing. It's like when you see someone's car, like a BMW, that they've had the models, all the model number and name and all that kind of stuff taken off, and it just doesn't look right. It just doesn't. It's not how it's meant to look, in my opinion. And you kind of know that those guys, the car isn't as powerful as they want it to be. I think that's the reason they take the model number off. I can't see why you take it off if it was X35i. What's the BMW, or if it was a Mercedes like M63, not M. E63 AMG or something, they wouldn't have it taken off then. So for a couple of reasons, I just don't like it. But yeah, on a watch, I just think it looks like there should be I think there should be something there. And we're all looking for the perfect beat. I mean, if I was going to critique the text on here, I'd say the Paramatic 80 silicon could be a bit higher up. You kind of notice that on the blue one more. But yeah, these are minor things. I've said these aren't perfect watches, but they are really nice for the money. I really do like them. I wouldn't have just gone out and bought the blue. if I really didn't like the green. Anyway, but yeah, there were a couple of things about this piece. So, but we're talking about Grand Seiko here now. In my so I'm a member of the GS9 Club, which I may or may not mention before. They are extremely generous. You have meets that you can go to either in like hotels or watch shops. They'll take over a watch shop and you can go along, have some drinks, have some very Japanese themed. So like a geisha girl, that's not what it would be. No, it's not a geisha girl. I didn't say that, sorry. But an authentic Japanese lady, doing, some Japanese font thing. It just really... I'm not really into heritage with other brands, but I think with Grand Seiko, I really do like the links. Sometimes I think the names looking out the window of the sometimes it's a bit cringe sometimes, but I still love it. I love it. I think it works beautifully. It definitely draws me in, and I love that whole Japanese vibe that Grand Seiko have. So why have I got a Tissot here? So let's start off with this strap. So basically, I've been gifted a lot of things by Grand Seiko, both through the GS9 Club and through my AD. So, and one of them was this crocodile strap with deployant clasp, which is absolutely... I don't think anyone's ever gifted me something this expensive before in my life. And it just goes. So I had the Tissot out, didn't have the Grand Seiko out. Grand Seiko is very similar. So all of my dress type watches are 21mm lug width, apart from the Paganis. But yeah, all of the kind of real ones are 21mm lug width. And I now have a 21mm lug width crocodile leather strap. So as my Grand Seiko has a blue dial, it's very similar in sort of size and color anyway. There are similarities. So I thought, let me just get that on this new Tissot. I think blue and brown go really well together. And I have never had I don't like pin buckles. I've never had a deployant. I mean, I don't own a leather strap other than this now. And so if I did, I would always want it on a deployant. And here we have it. And I've been wearing this solidly for the last 2 or 3 days. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to put it on in the morning. So yeah, and I take it off. I always take it off. Sometimes I will wear a watch in bed, but I'm not going to wear a leather strapped watch in bed. It's like it has to come off and go on the side, and then I have to pick it up and put it back on in the morning. I mean, it's almost like I want it to be manual wind, so that I pick it up and wind it in the morning. It has given me a real amount, a genuine amount of joy having this. And it's given me an appreciation for things that I didn't really have before. And it's also made me want a manual wind watch to have a leather strap on. It would always have to be a deployant for me. I couldn't have pin buckle, as I've said. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And that is Grand Seiko generosity. One other thing I do like about it, if you look at the profile, I just love that deployant clasp on a strap. Side profile. That is, you pick it up, you put it on, it's not going to fall on the floor, it's safe, secure, and you do it up, boom, got a little GS logo there just to prove it is Grand Seiko. Yeah, absolutely love it. Fits very well. As I say, I think blue and brown. Interestingly, if you get I think it's the Quartz Tissot has a brown leather strap option, but it isn't like a crocodile. I don't think it'd be real crocodile if it was Tissot, but it doesn't look like this. But they do have, I think on the silver one, you can purchase it with a strap that looks very similar to this. I think that's on a deployant. That's on a deployant as well. But yeah, really over the moon with this combination. And I do like the way it's very thick where it meets the lugs, and that works particularly well, ironically, on this Tissot. I haven't got the Grand Seiko out to try that yet, but yeah, I will be doing that very soon. But yeah, so really we were talking, I've mentioned GS9 meetings. I've mentioned, you know, and it's very Japanese themed, so they'll have like a Sahi as a beer, and Japanese whiskey, Japanese themed things in other ways, and all of their kind of freebies, I guess you call them, have a fantastic Japanese theme to them as well. Now, annoyingly, I didn't bring it up, actually. It's downstairs. I've been using them. But yeah, so basically just going to go through a few other things that I've been gifted by Grand Seiko very kindly. As I say, either the AD or GS9 Club. One that I've not got here, but it was in this box. I do love the blue silver grey colour scheme, as I've said before. Everything is in that colour, which I absolutely love. But yeah, in that box was a Grand Seiko incense kit. I think it had 3, maybe 4 tubes with incense in. Nice little you know, bit of literature here, talking about why they're gifting incense, which, you know, in some pictures of some very Japanesey homes, I guess. There, Japanesey, that sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? Japanese homes, and you know, the scents that go into the incense sticks. Just a nice little thing. It's a little cheap thing, but really nice. What else have I had from them? I had like a watch pouch, but I actually gifted that to someone, so I haven't got that anymore. But the two really interesting things I got, other than interesting, yeah, interesting more than bloody stunning, with the strap and brace and clasp. I had various little bits, but the two that I really wanted to show you were these. Now, I really like slippers. I'm definitely a slipper wearer. I can't stand a wet sock. And these came along. They're like sort of paper / cardboardy paper, and it's got that lovely creases in the packaging. You've got some Japanese font writing, rather, not font, Japanese writing on there. Siwa, it says, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, or Siwa, on the little label there. And inside, oh, actually I've told you what's inside, haven't I? I said I like slippers. You get these kind of slippers, which are also made out of papery cardboard. Now, these are called, is that Washi slippers? Again, I'm going to be pronouncing everything wrong. And these are just so lovely. I mean, they just link you to the brand. And I haven't even got a Grand Seiko watch here. If I did have it here, I'd put that strap on. But they just link you to the brand so fantastically, and it really does. It really does give you an appreciation. I know, you know, the brands are gifting you things, but I think it's just nice when they. It's just such a deep gift with Grand Seiko, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say, and I do appreciate everything that a brand sort of reaches out, and it's done in. It just seems to be done in a really genuine way as well. It seems genuine, and I like the whole theme behind it. So that's the Washi slippers. And then the big thing that, you know, apart from the invites to GS9 Club events, but yeah, this came a while back, which is a fantastic, what would you call this? This is not, it's not a book. It's an encyclopedia. Japanese craftsmanship, Japanese craftsmanship, watchmaking the Grand Seiko way. And it's a bound. It's like in a cover thing. Full color. You know, history of Grand Seiko. I haven't had a proper look through this, but yeah, it's a stunning, you know, gives you a lot of, you know, I've been to GS9 events, so I know, and I've obviously looked online. I know a fair bit about the dual impulse escapement and, you know, all of the technology within a Grand Seiko. I certainly don't know everything, but you know, I have an idea of what they're talking about in here. But I really need this. You know, you've got the quartz watches, obviously the quartzes and the spring drive quartz regulated watches. But yeah, a lovely gift. I mean, I've never been given anything by what I've been given. I'm by other brands. I've got a pen from Amiga and some stuff and that tie lapel pin. But yeah, I've actually got this one as well. I've got this the watch book Rolex updated and extended edition. I think this is quite a good Rolex book, but I had to buy this. You know, this is £25 on Amazon. It's a Christmas present to myself. Yeah, that's going to be, you know, I love watches, so I should really put this by the bed, and both of them by the bed really, and have a good read of them. But I had to buy this one, but this is kind of a similar thing that the brand gave me, Comp. So yeah, I think that covers. Oh, and I've got obviously got my Grand Seiko gloves that I picked up at one of the GS9 events. But yeah, I mean, that's hopefully I've you know, given you an idea. I've given you an idea of what it's like to be a Grand Seiko owner, even though I've got it on a Tissot at the moment. But yeah, I just couldn't wait to pop it on and try it out, and it seemed best to do on the, as I had a 21mm blue dialed watch sitting on the desk. I thought, yep, let's get it on. But hopefully I've given you some idea of my experience with Grand Seiko, and I'm guessing maybe, and it might be, I know GS9 Club is in the States as well. I think it originated in the States, and then fairly recent years it's come to the UK. I know that they're having a big, I think they're having their big first event soon, you know, later on this year. So yeah, unfortunately I'm away, so I can't go to that, but I would if I was in the UK, I would be going to that, because yeah, I do like their events. And yeah, I just really enjoy the watches, and really enjoy the vibe and the love that you get from the company. Well, let me know if you've got any questions on any of that in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this reasonably short video for me, actually. But yeah, for now, one wrist, live it.